Are you looking for a quick art project? Well, look no further, because in this video I'm going to show you how to paint the quickest painting ever. Okay, I'm starting off with a really simple outline that I traced down from a photograph I printed out, and I'll tell you later on how you can have access to this so that you can trace it down yourself without the stress. This is the little sketchbook that I'm using. It's from Ochre, and the paints I'm using today are from this delightful brand called Deep Light, but of course you can use whichever colours that you want to that are in your own kit. All the materials I'm going to be using today I will put in the information box underneath this video so that you can join in and paint along with me. So to start with, I'm applying a layer of water over the outline of the petal here. This is called Wet in Wet, and watercolour is all about building up our layers one by one. So once I've applied the water straight to the outline, as you can see me doing here, this is a number 8 round brush from Ochre. I'm dropping in the first colour. The first tone I'm going to be using here is called Cherry Blossom, and it's a kind of lilac-y pinky tone. You could use whichever colours that you wanted to for this painting. I've chosen to use these colours because I like them, and I just think they work really, really well together. So once I've applied that water, you can see I'm dropping in my first layer of paint. Then I'm adding my second colour, which is Mayan. Now this is from Deep Light, and this colour is a kind of really beautiful soft reddy pink. And if you want to join in and you haven't got this colour, you could use something like a permanent rose or something like that. You can see I'm dropping it in again, Wet in Wet, and the same on the other petal. You can see I'm using the tip of the brush to drop in that colour, and now I'm adding colour number 3. This is called Woodcow Wheat. It's a lovely kind of burgundy tone, and if you wanted to use the same colour palette as me and you don't have this colour, something like a Cerulean Violet would work just as well. So we are applying this paint again up to that pencil line. Very, very light wash here. This is the Cherry Blossom, that beautiful soft pink tone, and once again I will drop in the other two colours, which are Mayan and Woodcow Wheat. Really, really simple to do. Now this painting is more floral than botanicals. We do botanical paintings on our channel here. This is going to have a nice looser feel. No stress with this painting, just dropping in those colours and letting them flow into that beautiful cold pressed paper. So this paper has a little bit of texture, which means it really does help the paint go into its kind of own texturized look. It looks really, really pretty. Next up, I'm adding Cloudberry, a lovely light yellow colour, into the stamen and anther at the middle of the flower, along with a tiny bit of a colour called Rosehip. This is a delightful orangey colour, and you could substitute it with any orange tone that you have within your own set. Dropping it in using my number 2 Snowdrop pointed round brush from Rosemary. I love this brush. I use it all the time in my tutorials, and like I said, I will link everything underneath in the video description should you want to check out the colours for yourself. And just to let you know, I do have a discount code for Deep Light if you're interested in treating yourself to these delightful colours, with a 10% discount in the description box. Applying the Solstice Green fern colour to the base of this flower head. Any green will do, just bringing it down the stem like this, right to the tip. The same on the other petals. At the start of this video, I did mention that we supply you with a simple outline and a reference photograph to work from. And if you'd like to have access to these, all you need to do is watch this video all the way through, and I'll place it right at the end after the outro, where you can pause it and screenshot it and print it out that way. Really, really simple. Of course, you can draw it freehand if you want to, but we're all about making it easy here on this channel, so you don't have to worry about the drawing if you don't enjoy drawing, or maybe it's just you want to press on with the watercolour painting, as do I. You can see me here dropping in that beautiful Woodcow Wheat here, Wet in Wet, and applying another bit of that beautiful Mayan. Notice that in the pan it looks really, really deep, but when you apply this colour onto the watercolour paper, it has this gorgeous kind of translucent look, a colour that I've never quite seen before. It's really, really beautiful. I don't think the camera's doing it justice here. So you can see me here pointing to this other little anemone flower on my sketchbook here. This is actually a YouTube tutorial that we did some time ago, and I will link it on the top of your screen if you want to give that a go. It's a lot more detailed, it's more of a botanical piece, so if you want to check that out, have a look. Okay, so I'm using my eradicator brush here to tidy up any edges and lift out some paint. This colour is gold ochre. It's a stunning colour. It's a sort of, it has kind of sparkly bits in it. It's really special, but you could use yellow ochre if you don't have this colour. But this is just a wow colour I would highly recommend. You can see I'm just adding in a tiny bit of detail, just painting in a few of the filaments and the stamen here. And once I've got that colour in place, I'm using a mixture of woodcow wheat and rosehip just to darken up the tips, as you can see me doing here. Just a little bit of an outline to add a bit of detail. As I said, this one isn't a really a detailed painting tutorial. It's more of a relaxed, get to know your paints and just paint along with me kind of thing. Now, we do release new content on our channel every single Tuesday, so if this is something that interests you and you like this kind of thing, you may want to consider subscribing and hitting that little bell notification there on the side. That means you won't miss new content when I release it every week, and also you might want to give me a thumbs up. It's a way of letting YouTube know that you're enjoying my content, and it means that more people can see it, and I'd really appreciate that. And you can see me here adding a tiny bit of the cherry blossom to that back petal there, just working around really carefully. Now, if you do like botanical paintings and you prefer a much slower pace and a more in-depth tutorial, we do have a Patreon where we release new content every month. You won't find them here on YouTube. They are exclusive to my patrons, and as I said, they're a much slower pace. So in case this is of interest to you, let's take a quick look. If you love botanical painting and want to know more, then you may want to join our Patreon. We have different membership levels so that you can take your botanical painting to the next level. With our Clematis level, you will have a full-length, in-depth tutorial every month, and if you'd like to make even more progress, then check out our Rose level, where we now have a mentorship offering feedback to help you grow. You won't find any of our Patreon tutorials here on YouTube, and you can cancel your membership at any time. So if you want to take your botanical painting to the next level, then take a look. I'll put the link in the description underneath this video. Okay, so moving on, you can see me adding here a little bit of form now. We're just darkening up those colours with a bit of woodcow wheat here. The paint is now dry, so I'm able to apply it wet on dry to create a bit more of an illusion of shape here. Using my number 2 pointed round, this is from Rosemary & Co. All the brushes I use are synthetic, by the way. I really like them, and this is one of my favourite brushes. Adding a bit of woodcow wheat to enhance the outer area here, and then I'll blend it in using my usual way of blending. And I have done a video on this, which explains it in more detail. If you'd like to check that out, it's on the top of your screen. This little painting really didn't take me very long to do. It's a great, really easy, quick project if you find that you're in a little bit of a watercolour rut and you want to start painting again and you're not sure where to start. This is a great one to begin with. So just building up my layers one by one, making sure at this point that each of my layers are dry before applying the next. And that's the beauty of watercolour. When you get used to handling it, you can just build up your layers without that paint going muddy, and it just gives it a really lovely loose effect. You can see there that I'm just adding a bit of detail around the area that I lifted out earlier, as well as the adjoining area where those two petals overlap. And I'm just using the tip of my brush, using a pattern motion to where that pencil line is to create a little bit of form there. Just picking up some more of that tone. This is the cherry blossom. And just continuing to build up those colours. Again, a little bit more of that woodcow wheat to enhance that petal there. Notice how I'm blending that paint into the paper. Already it's got this really lovely painterly look. Bit more of that Mayan, that gorgeous reddy pinky colour, and just letting it do its thing, merging into that damp paper. I'm adding a little bit more woodcow wheat here and creating a little curve there where that petal is, blending it in as usual with a little bit more of that Mayan. Just continuing to build up those colours, a mixture of woodcow wheat and Mayan here. Just to give it a little bit more depth of colour. It was looking a little bit flat, so I wanted to really pack a punch with these colours now and continue to build them up. The actual photograph of this rose is a pale lemony colour, and I wanted to make this really different, so I've added these colours here. This rosehip colour, as you can see me dropping into the base of the stamen and anther, because I wanted to give it a lovely little bit of a boost of colour there, and I wanted them to purposely bleed into the wet paint, giving it more of a painterly look and not a botanical painting. I've got a ton of botanical painting tutorials here on my YouTube channel, and I'll put a playlist at the end of this video so that you can click through and watch them. Help yourself to whichever ones you want to watch. There are quite a few of them there now, all full length and all free, and you can watch them and just have fun with them and just join in whenever you want to. So I'll put that at the end of the video as well for you to watch. Another layer here of Mayan. I really love this paper actually. This one is from my Etcher sketchbook. It's a 300 gram cold press paper, and I really enjoy working on cold press. I think the texture really is easy to work with. This is one of the nicest I've used for this kind of price range, and I would definitely buy another one once I'm done with this one. Really lovely paper, and you can get them from Jackson's, which I'll link in the info box underneath this video. Just adding a bit more detail now. This is the rosehip, dotting it in and just letting it do its thing. Just adding a tiny bit more woodcow wheat to the side of the stem here, just to give it a bit of definition. Don't forget to stay until the end to have access to that line drawing and the reference photograph. And I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you've liked it. Here's the finished painting. Let me know what you think.